Lately, it feels like you have no energy for anything. You stay in bed longer than you should, you scroll instead of moving, you think about doing things, but never actually start. And the worst part? You tell yourself, I'm just lazy. But what if that's not true? What if you're not lazy at all, but completely burned out? Because there's a thin line between laziness and something much deeper. A kind of exhaustion that doesn't go away with rest. Emotional, mental, physical. Not all signs are obvious. Some of them you're already ignoring. Number 1, you feel disconnected from everything. You move through your days like you're on autopilot, one moment to the next, without really being there. There's this strange feeling of being detached from yourself. If this is burnout, you might be experiencing something you don't fully recognize: depersonalization. People who go through this often describe a quiet emptiness, as if their emotions are muted, dulled. Sometimes it feels like you're watching your own life from the outside, like you're not fully inside it. You don't feel like yourself anymore. Nothing really pulls you in. Nothing truly engages you. And underneath it all, there's this heavy feeling, helplessness, like you've lost control and don't know how to take it back. Number 2, you used to be motivated. Laziness is a trait, and traits tend to stay consistent. A lazy person doesn't feel driven. Not now, not before. But if you were different, self-driven, focused, someone who used to push forward, and only recently you've become exhausted, unmotivated, drained, then this isn't laziness, it's burnout, even if people around you don't see it that way. Number 3, you used to feel passion. There's a clear difference here. Someone who is burned out once had something that lit them up, and now that feeling is gone. The interest is gone. The enjoyment is gone. What you once loved feels empty. It could be a skill, a sport, your work, your studies, and sometimes you even start to resent it. Because at some point, you pushed too hard, gave too much, went too far, and now it hurts. Number 4, you've become irritable. You snap more easily now. Small things get under your skin. Things that never used to matter suddenly do. Your emotions feel unstable, harder to control, and you don't fully understand why. Irritability and mood swings are common signs of burnout, but they're often ignored. So if this feels new to you, if this wasn't who you used to be, there's a reason. Because lazy people don't go through this. Lazy people are usually calm, relaxed, unbothered, unaffected by much. Number 5, you've stopped taking care of yourself. One of the clearest warning signs of burnout is when self-care starts to disappear. You begin to pull away from people. You isolate. Your habits change. You might eat too much or too little, sleep too much or barely at all. You stop putting effort into how you look, into how you feel. And most of your time is spent alone, doing nothing. Not because you want to, but because even the simplest tasks feel exhausting. That's the difference. Burnout changes you. Laziness doesn't. You weren't always like this. Number 6, it didn't happen overnight. And this might be the most important part. Burnout is a process. It builds slowly, in stages. It starts subtly, almost invisible. Then it grows. Research shows there are 5 main stages of burnout: the honeymoon phase, the onset of stress, chronic stress, burnout, and finally, habitual burnout. For many people, the signs begin as early as stage 2. There's still some motivation, some optimism, but something starts to shift. Energy drops, focus weakens, performance declines. And if nothing changes, by the final stage, burnout becomes part of your daily life. The exhaustion is constant, mental, physical. It gets heavier, harder to escape. And over time, it can open the door to something deeper: depression, anxiety, That's why noticing the signs early matters, because the sooner you recognize it, the easier it is to recover. This is why awareness is so important, because too many people look at burnout and call it laziness and miss what's really happening. So if this feels familiar or someone you know is going through this, don't ignore it. Reach out. Talk to someone who understands. A mental health professional can help you make sense of it. You don't have to go through it alone. If this video helped you, leave a like, share your thoughts, your experience down below, and send this to someone who might be quietly struggling. Subscribe for more and stay aware, because sometimes what looks like laziness is something much deeper. Thanks for watching.